Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Amelia G, and on today's episode we're talking about, of course, HBCU life, and the actual topic is my HBCU. It's a different world. So the question basically is, when you arrived on your HBCU, was it a different world?
No, I don't think so. I have to remember, I have to go back and think about it as far as the setting of it wasn't a different world, no. Totally different.
You said it was totally different, but you said it wasn't a different world.
Are you comparing it to the show A Different World? Or are you comparing it
I'm
to
just
high
saying,
school?
in your eyes, was it a different world? Was it different?
Yeah. I mean,
it
it wasn't as different because I came from an all black high school, so it wasn't as different for me. We had the experience of the band that they called my high school band Mini A&M, whatever. But we had everybody in our school was African American, I would say, except for maybe 3 people. So,
but I'm just saying, was it a different world? Because that's what the show was based off of, just being a different world. I'm not saying actual show or not. Anyway, so for me, it was definitely a different world. It was definitely a different world for me. I lived in a predominantly white city, so therefore I went to a predominantly white school. Marched in a predominantly white band. My band director went to a predominantly white college. So therefore, once I got to the Hill, it was very different. Like day one, different. When I say day one, I mean like day one before the students arrived, when it was just like the athletes and the band. So it was very different, and I am very grateful and thankful to Shanika, because she was the first person I met on campus and she knew where she was going. So I knew that I had to be at the band meeting at like 5 o'clock, I believe the band meeting was at 5. So I leave my room and I go down the hill. I just knew where the band room was. That was it. I knew where the Morrison building was located. So I'm going through to get to the Morrison building, and I see somebody walking towards as if they were going to the Morrison building. So I was like, hey, are you going to the band meeting? Because we were the only ones on campus, so she wasn't a football player. She was like, yeah, I'm going to the band meeting. I was like, so you know where it is? She was like, yeah. And I see Shanika had the scoop because her boyfriend was in the band. So anyway, Shanika gets in the car with me and we go to the band room. No, we did not go to the band room. We went to the band meeting because it was held in a different building. And I was just, at that moment, I was just like, I'm here. I'm here. I'm amongst my people.
So what was your initial shock when it came to going from a predominantly white high school to an all black college?
Like my initial shock when everybody was there, like school-wide, school in session. I was very much so like, because it was just so many of us. So it was just like, you're at a school. I'd never seen that many black people in my life. It was just like, we're here to take over. Like, it was just like, it was an overwhelming feeling, and it was like I was living my dream. Because people have dreams that like succeed and just go on and on and on. Mm-hmm. My number one dream was to go to A&M, to march in the band, and to graduate. And the fact that I completed all of that, it was just, I mean, even to this day, like when I drive by the school, I don't do that anymore, but when I was in Huntsville and I would drive by the school, I would instantly get that feeling like, wow. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just like an amazing feeling.
So, although it was your dream to go to A&M, what was the first activity, like school activity, that you did that made you fall in love with A&M?
What do you mean? Like before I went to A&M?
No, like when you got there.
Band.
Outside of band.
Nothing exists outside of band. It was class, band. Class, band.
Like during orientation, was there anything that happened that made you like, I'm in the right place? Or
No, the fact that I was in the band made me know that I was in the right place.
so
we did orientation and like we had like the candlelight ceremony, whatever. As we were sitting in the stadium, I was sitting there like, you know how the school looks when you sit in the stadium, right?
mm-hmm.
So I was just sitting there like just looking, like just gazing over the school. And I was just like, I am here. Like that's how I was. To me, that's just like there were no other activities that surpassed my desire or my acceptance or accomplishments of being in the band.
Well, I can't say the same.
What? You answered the same question.
So when I got there, of course it was orientation. The second session of orientation, like right before school, we had a block party.
Do we have block parties?
When I tell you,
I don't think so.
in young people's terms today, it was lit. Jesus Christ. That was the most fun I ever had. Like at the block party. Like I didn't do anything. I didn't dance. I didn't do anything. I just stood there and watched everybody else.
So was it just freshmen or was it like a school block party?
It was a school block party.
Oh,
Well, it was the freshmen, but there were some upperclassmen on the yard at the time. I don't know if they were ambassadors or whatever the case may be, but it was a ton of people out there. When I say it was a block party, it was really a block party. It was just like them block parties they used to have for those of you who went to 4-H from North Alabama, who went to A&M during the 4-H. They always ended it with a block party. Exact same thing. A little disclaimer: I would have gone to A&M because, of course, I was trying to get away from home, and that's a different story for a different day. But I would have gone to A&M had my acceptance letter been sent earlier. I had already gotten my acceptance letter from Alabama State, which said, "Oh, that's my school. I'm going." That they were the first one to send me the.
So hold on. When did you send off your application? Did you send them off both at the same time?
All at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I sent off four applications. One to Alabama, one to Alabama State, one to A&M, and one to Notre Dame.
And everybody responded at the same time except A&M.
No.
Oh, okay.
Alabama, like I said, Alabama State came back first.
Oh, okay.
University of Alabama came back second. Notre Dame came back third.
So you just took what you could get first.
No, that's not. Okay, so this ties into the story that I was going to hold off for another day. So
what we holding for?
When I was okay, so check this out. When I was in high school, I was a junior in high school. My sister was a freshman at University of North Alabama. My mother, being protective like she is, I was the only one they trusted with the car. The amount of time that it took for me to get to UNA from my hometown was about 35, 40 minutes, right? My mother, if she couldn't get in contact with my sister, she would send me, regardless of what night it is, it could be a weekend, it could be a weekday, she would send me to Florence to find her. And every time, my sister would be in the library. So with that being said, I thought to myself, I'm not going through that. So I'm going to go as far away as I can so she can't send nobody to find me, so she can't send nobody to look for me. And Huntsville, it's like you got UNA on this end, you got A&M on this end. We're right in the middle. So 45 minutes each way. And
you was going to be calm.
Right. So I chose to go to Alabama State, which is 3.5 hours away. I knew she wasn't going to just pop up.
Now, when I was in high school, I did have the opportunity to go to UNA's campus and Alabama. But like I said, I just wasn't. It didn't give me that.
Yeah.
It didn't give me that feeling.
Yeah.
When I went to A&M, this is 3rd grade. It was just this feeling I had, like, and I was supposed to have that feeling when I went to the, you know what I'm saying, like going to UNA or Alabama. I should have had that same or even better experience because, first of all, I'm older and a bit smarter, you know, and a bit wiser when it comes to colleges. But it didn't happen. But being at the high school senior day in the 10th grade, I was like, I'm going. I will be here. And the first high school senior day we did when I was a freshman in college, I was just like, I'm here. This is it. Now, to compare my experience to the actual TV show A Different World, I don't think that exists.
Yeah.
Had they added like people from the band, people from the football team, cheerleading team, had they added those persons in there, maybe we could relate more.
True.
But as of just being a regular student, I wasn't a Denise, I wasn't a Whitley, I wasn't a Jaleesa. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't come across to me because I was too busy, like, in class, in band, getting some sleep. I mean, it was but it was definitely a different world from where I came from. I lived the theme song. It was a whole 180.
So at the end of the day, it wasn't such a different world for me because of course I went to.
You was amongst the same.
Yeah.
I wasn't amongst the same.
But it was a different world for you.
Oh, and a fun fact: the TV show A Different World, they taped or recorded all of the live shots from like the outside of the school. It was here at the AUC. That's about it. That's all I have. What was your experience when you went to your college? But my HBCU experience was definitely a different world. When I went home, first semester, Christmas break, you could tell I was at an HBCU. So anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of like all over the place. Well, it wasn't all over the place. It was just a lot of talking. But I can go on for days about my experience. Days. For days.
Yeah, so we're going to cut it right here. Okay?
Anyway, guys, make sure you listen to Miss Ava. And until we see you again, peace out.
Click subscribe and turn on notifications to give me a huge thumbs up.